Hi guys, it's Chisomeluche here, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time watching my video, please ensure you subscribe to this channel. Subscription is absolutely free, you're not paying money for it. And please make sure you like my video. So basically on today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I scored 302 in Jamb, how I navigated from scoring 183 to 302. So, without wasting much of your time, let's just get right into today's video. I wrote the JAMB exam twice, and on my first attempt, I scored 183, and on my second attempt, I scored 302. That's over 100 marks higher. And trust me, I don't have two heads, I have just one head like you. But there were certain things that I did differently that maybe you didn't do. And in this video, I'm going to be exposing those five secrets that I did that helped me navigate from 183 to 300 plus. The first thing I did differently was setting a clear goal. On my first attempt, I just wrote the exam because, yes, I need to write JAMB. I had no goal. I just read because my mates were reading. I read because I needed to read, but I didn't read with a focus. When I saw my result, 183, I wasn't disappointed, I wasn't happy, I wasn't confused. I was just neutral because I don't even know. And I accepted the results. But my second attempt, I told myself, Chisom, ha, this time around, you're not even aiming for 200 plus. You're not aiming for 250 plus. You need to aim for 300 plus. That was what I told myself. And I began working towards it. Whatever I did in my last JAMB trial, I doubled the efforts. I even tripled the efforts. So you have to set a clear goal. What is your target score? What is that score that you want to score in your JAMB exam? Just have that goal at the back of your mind whenever you are reading. So that was what I did. And let's get into tip two. The second tip is get the right resources. What do I mean by resources? Your textbooks, whatever you're using to read, your textbooks, your phone, your laptops, just make sure that it's coming from the right source. You can't be using one small pamphlet. Do you know what a pamphlet is? A pamphlet is like all those small books that has 10 pages or 20 pages. You can't be using one small pamphlet for physics or chemistry and expect to score 80 or 90 plus in chemistry. You're just wasting your time. Be versatile. Because during my time, I used up to three textbooks for one particular subject. I didn't use one textbook. Be versatile. And for calculative subjects like physics, mathematics, or chemistry, it is actually very hard to read directly from the textbook and understand. You know what I'm talking about. To learn mathematics from your math textbook, like, is hard. So what I did, I went to YouTube and I searched for whatever topic and I watched a video on it, and that's how I understood physics, chemistry, any calculative topic. Just search it out on YouTube and you're going to watch videos on it, and you understand it better than reading from the textbooks. You also need your jam past questions. Get your jam past questions and study it. One of the mistakes that most jambites make is to cram the past questions. I mean, to cram the answers to the past questions. You don't have to do that because you end up confusing yourself. As one thing I've noticed about JAMB is that they usually, though they repeat past questions, they usually twist those questions. So cramming it is not the best option. From the JAMB past questions, you just need to understand how they got the answers. Just understand how they arrived at the answers. And from the past questions, from the questions, you could see the topic that they set those questions from. You go and read the topic, go and study the topic. You don't have to cram the past question. I did it. I crammed the past questions in my first trial. And trust me, it didn't work. You will forget it. It didn't work. The next tip is creating a study timetable. Create a timetable that works for you. For example, if chemistry is your toughest subject, I think you should add it more frequently in your timetable so that you can focus on it. But at the same time, don't neglect other subjects you're good at. Still give them time. And create a specific time duration for each study sessions. Personally, I read every day. From Monday to Sunday, I read. Once I wake up in the morning, do my morning prep, take my breakfast and all those stuffs, I start reading immediately. I only take breaks for eating, cooking, or to press my phone a little for just 30 minutes or 1 hour. Then I go back reading. And personally, I don't like reading at night. So I didn't add that in my timetable. I don't like reading at night because night time is for sleeping. Some people like reading at night because it feels more peaceful than day. But just do what works for you. So the next step is develop a study method that works for you. Now let me tell you how I read. I don't just open a textbook and read directly from the textbook. It doesn't work for me. What I do is I get different textbooks, compare and contrast the informations in these textbooks, then write down the main points on my own summarized notebook, then study it. That's how I do. But some people read directly from their textbooks. It's fine, but I don't read from my textbook. It doesn't enter. And again, I use YouTube videos. Topics that were difficult for me to understand, like I said before, I search it out on YouTube and I watch videos, then jot down the main points, both from YouTube videos, from my textbooks, jot it down into a separate note and read everything. Now, there was something I did which was rereading. What do I mean by rereading? That is reading topics you have already read before. Yes. You read a particular topic today, tomorrow you read a different topic, next tomorrow you read a whole different topic. That is not how I do, because you are likely to forget the first topic you read. So what I do, if I'm reading a topic today, tomorrow I read a different topic. Tomorrow I don't just read a different topic, I read both that topic and the previous topic so that I can cover everything. And that was how I retained information till my exam day, because I kept on revisiting topics every day, again and again and again. The next tip that helped me was setting an alarm. This is my most unique method. I set alarm to remember things that I've read. For example, let's say in your textbook you come across this fact: Robert Hooke is the father of cells. I know myself, by tomorrow or next week I'm going to forget this thing. Then immediately I will set an alarm saying, who is the father of cells? I might set it by 2 p.m., 9 p.m., 1 p.m., an unexpected time. And once that alarm rings, who is the father of cells? I will say immediately, Robert Hooke. That was what I did. Whatever important information that you just see, set an alarm immediately. And set it at different timing. The more alarms, the more you see these reminders, the more it enters into your brain. The more you can never forget them. Set an alarm today. Try it. It works. The next tip is study smart and not hard. You have probably heard this before. Let me explain. Someone can study for 5 hours and that person didn't grasp anything. He can actually study for 5 hours, but that person didn't understand anything. While another person can study for 30 minutes and that person understood that whole content. So who studied better? The 30 minutes person, of course. So it's not about bragging. I do study 12 hours in a day. I study 10 hours in a day. If you don't understand what you're studying, my dear, you're just a liar. You're wasting your time. The main goal is to focus on the right content. Focus on what you are studying and not how long you study. And that leads me to my next step. My next step is follow the Jamb syllabus. There is something called Jamb syllabus. Please don't joke with Jamb syllabus. Jamb will set everything that's inside their syllabus. They can't set outside of their syllabus. That is the only expo Jamb can give you. So don't joke with the Jamb syllabus. For example, the syllabus is saying study the structure of cells, the functions of cells, the cell theory, and how to draw plant and animal cell. That's what they ask you to study. Don't start studying irrelevant things like history of cells. Jamb will not ask you that. You're just wasting your time. You're just wasting your energy and your time. So follow the Jamb syllabus. That is the guide. Learn all the topics in the syllabus and you're good to go. The next powerful tip is use CBT apps. Studying without practicing is not enough. That is why CBT apps are powerful. They give you the real life Jamb experience, both the timing, the way questions are set. Now there's this app I want to introduce to you guys. It's called MySchool app. I know there are other Jamb CBT apps like Test Driller and all of that, but I use my school, and I can testify to you that my school app is really, really good. Let me warn you though, my school app questions are very tough, but that's the best because if you could be able to score 300 plus in my school app, that means Jamb will be easier for you. At first when I started scoring 220, 220 plus, 250 plus. Then I scored 276, I scored 280, 288. I scored 300 on the dot when I was practicing. Scored 300 on the dot, scored 311, 328. And that was when I knew that I could actually score 300. It boosted my confidence so much. And let me tell you another trick. You know that Jamb usually gives 2 hours for 180 questions, but this is what I do. Instead of setting 2 hours in your CBT app, I do set 1 hour 40 minutes. I trained myself to be able to finish 180 questions in 1 hour 40 minutes through CBT apps, and I did it. So on that Jamb day, I finished within 1 hour 40 minutes, and the remaining 20 minutes were just to cross check, to play. So that is a trick I'm giving you now. That is a trick. You get finally, the last but not the least is prayer. Commit everything into God's hands. There's nothing God cannot do. But at the same time, praying without working, you're missing something. And also working without prayer, you're also missing something. Both of them work together. Pray for retentive memory, pray for wisdom, pray for understanding, pray for peace of mind during your exam day, and also pray for success. I believe that prayer helped me when I felt like giving up, when I felt tired. Prayer helped me. It also boosted my confidence. At least a short prayer before you start reading, before you sleep at night, it makes a big difference. So combine hard work with God's grace and success is sure. And that's it, guys. So these were the exact strategies I used in scoring 300 plus in Jamb. If you found this video helpful, please like my video and subscribe. You're not paying money to subscribe. Please just subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I sure you also share this video. Thank you, and I wish you success in 2026 Jamb. Wait, I heard they're not using Jamb as a criteria for admission to Nigerian universities from next year. How true is that? Well, thank you for watching this video and subscribe.